Good day, everyone. Good afternoon if you're watching this in the afternoon. Good evening if you are seeing us in the evening. Hello, beautiful viewers. This is Adelaja, and you're welcome to another intriguing session on Ask Pastor Sunday show. And this is a platform, this is a show where you have the opportunity to ask whatever question you have. Just any question is good enough. And you're going to be getting answers straight from Dr. Sunday Adelaja. So we're welcoming everyone. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. And please, as you join, we implore you to please go ahead and share this video to your friends. I'm sure you are fully aware of how you can get this out there. You can actually tag your friend and any person you feel should get to listen to today's episode. You could tag them, put the @ and put in their name, and Facebook would send a notification to those people informing them that Dr. Sunday Adelaja is live right now for the Ask Pastor Sunday show. And also, you could share this link to your friends. You could share it on groups that you belong to, and let's get everybody on board. Today is going to be another informative session. You're going to learn so much. You're going to get answers to your questions. So while we get more people on board, please let's go ahead and share the video to everyone. Let's share the video to everyone, and let's get everyone on board so that we could learn and we could get some questions answered. And I'm sure many of these questions are going to be of great benefit to you. Many of these questions are going to they're going to bless you. You're going to get answers from these questions. And for many of you who are probably thinking, how can I get my questions asked? How can I get Dr. Sunday to answer my questions? Very easy. How can you do that? Number one step is you can write your questions right now online. So how is it? You're going to put the letter Q, type the letter Q, and ask your questions. Type the letter Q and ask your questions, because if you just ask your questions without the letter Q, we won't be able to derive those questions because we would think they are just normal comments. But to help us in distinguishing your comments from your question, please type letter Q and ask your questions. And we'll get all of your questions. We'll try to see if we can answer them into this episode. But if we can't answer them into this episode, be rest assured that in subsequent episodes, your questions will be answered. And what does that mean? That means that whatever we are having Ask Pastor Sunday show, you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. And another way you can ask your question is by going to sundayadelajablog.com/Ask Pastor Sunday, and there you can also send in your questions, and all of your questions will be gathered, and we are going to give answers to them. So please, let's keep sharing, and let's keep sharing. And I believe more people are needed for today's episode, because we're going to be answering questions that will be relevant, giving practical answers to your practical questions, and not just answers that would just fill your head with knowledge, but answers that would give you exactly what to do in whatever situation you are in. So I think at this point, I would like to welcome Dr. Sunday Adelaja, and for him to say hello to our dear viewers.
Yep.
Welcome, Pastor.
Thank you so much. Thank you
so much, sir.
And it's a pleasure. So what do we say? We're having another day. People always ask me, how are you doing? How my doing must be answered by the objectivity of that the question demands. The question demands an objective answer, even though it is framed as subjective, but it is supposed to be a truthful answer. It's supposed to generate a truthful answer. So whenever people ask me how I am doing, I'm always looking at it in terms of products, fruits, results, and in terms of assessment, objective assessment of my life at that very point. That is what should be the objective answer to that to that question, a truthful answer to that objective question. And the truthful answer is, right now, how am I doing? Okay, if you want to know, or you just ask, just to pass time. You just ask to just to do what? To abide by the customs and by the rules of the game, that you just need to say, how are you doing? So it depends on what is your motive or what's your objective. If your objective is for me to just to say hi and to just say, how are you doing, for me to say fine, then that's okay, that's one thing. But if your objective is to really find out how I'm doing, then that will require a more detailed answer.
Great. Amazing. So this just brings to mind how we also started last Art for Sunday session. It was also in the same vein. I think I would like you to give a detailed answer, because very few people get to know how you're really doing. Because most times when you come out, you go straight into business. Either you're giving your live shows, you're teaching. But very few people get to know your state of mind, what is going through your mind. For me, I've been with you, so I understand exactly what it means to ask you how are you doing and the objectivity that comes with it. But I'm sure many of our viewers, they might not have that access that we have here, being with you day in, day out, knowing what is going on. So they would like to know what is happening and how you're doing, what is going through your mind, and whatever you like to share with them as to how your state is at the moment.
First of all, I'm always I'm having a stable state of mind. I'm always stable. I'm always here and now, in the here and now. There is this book that we call In the Here and Now. Yeah, so I'm always in the here and now. And thanks to that, I'm pretty in the state of mind to be able to give the answer to that question, how am I doing?
Amazing.
And so I'm actually able to give an objective answer to that at any time. So how am I doing is connected to the fact that I'm thinking of how to be able to unveil to the world all that is in me. I don't know if it will ever be possible for me to unveil all that is in me. I'm not sure of that. But I'm at least happy that right now it's like I'm having more and more opportunities to be able to bring out more and more treasures that I have inside me all these years. So all these people who are saying, where is it coming from? Who is it? Or why have you not spoken before? It's just because they didn't know me and where I'm coming from. So, but with these books, at least I'm able to maybe not tell them where I'm coming from, but I'm able to bring forth things that I believe will indeed be of help to people. For example, I'm looking at these new books that I just released. And of course, you know that all these books that we are talking about, as many as they look to you people, but to me, I've not even started. I've not even started at all. So, but the fact that I'm able to put out this book, How Africans Brought Civilization to Europe and to all the continents of the earth. Maybe there are other people who have done some similar things or who have written some similar things, but from my perspective, and from the perspective of an African, and from my perspective, maybe, but I don't think anybody could do it from my perspective. So that's why for me it is special, and it is joyful for me that this book, How Africans Brought Civilization to Europe, can now accessible to all Africans. At least there is a reference point. At least you can now point every black person to a document, because this is not just my opinion. This is a research-based book that documents, mainly documents, of what Africans and black people have done to change the world. So that kind of thing, for example, makes me to want to do more. It makes me to reflect on other things that I still need to give out there. Even though I've not had any feedback on this book, I've not had any review, I've not had anybody who has read it, but I know that if they get to read it, if any black person gets to read it, I mean, there's no way its life will ever be the same again, especially if they are teenagers and youth. If the youth or teenagers will ever get to read it, there's no way they will ever be the same again. And people who will read this book will probably end up aspiring to change the world by themselves. So how should I feel when I know I'm able to release it there? Even if nobody gets to read it, at least it's no more inside me. So how am I feeling? I'm at least satisfied. And I'm now thinking, so if I've been able to do that, why don't I just go ahead and keep on doing that? And because I'm getting old. I'm an old man now. And I'm getting old by the day. Older by the day. So as an old person or somebody who's getting old, I have many more things inside. It will be tragic if I don't release it. So this is another book here that is it's a mind-shifting book. It's a mind-molding and shifting book. Who does that? Maybe, you are the new generation. Maybe you have made books like this or you have seen. But where I'm coming from, for the last 50 years of my life, I never saw anything similar.
True.
So I think I should be happy that at least it's out there. And people could actually begin to search for problems. And that's the key to resolving the problem of Africa. We need to raise up a generation of at least 1 million people who will have this mindset of not looking for job, but searching for problems. I don't know what comes to the mind of an average person when he reads a title like this. But if they would dare to read it, they will be jumping up and down at the sight of problems. So how should I feel about that? Those are the kind of things that dictate my feelings. Look at this one. Even the picture alone is a message. Don't eat tomorrow's food today. That is a key to escape financial slavery. Not to eat tomorrow's food today. My own country is having the culture of eating tomorrow's food today. A lot of people all over the world has their culture of eating tomorrow's food today. But that's a law to build financial future. And I'm able to put it out there. So I'm satisfied. And then, someone like you, this is a kind of book that I'm dreaming that someone like you will be able to read. Because you still have the chance to become a father of a nation, to father a nation, to become a patriarch, a nationalist, a founding father. I have done it in Ukraine, at least in one country. But I'm going to do it in more countries before I go. But now I'm giving the template. I'm providing the template for someone like you. I wish someone has given me a template like that. So what I'm thinking, you know what? Yeah. I'm thinking, you know what? I think I should continue doing what I'm doing. People might not get it, people might not understand it, but I think I should continue doing what I'm doing.
So,
if you look at this one, this is diamond here. Diamond. Diamond is always precious. And what makes diamond special is the quality. The quality of work that is done on it. So quality, which is another word for quality, is excellence. Excellence is the most reliable key to elevation in life. There is no way diamond will not command respect. There is no way a man of excellence will not command respect. There is no way diamond will not be valued. There is no way a man of excellence will not be valued. There is no way diamond will not be treasured. Diamond cannot be commonized. So is it with a man of excellence. But my people don't know it. Everybody just wants to do things quick. But I know I am giving future and destiny to somebody just through this book. So how am I feeling? Well, you could begin to guess now how I'm feeling. Those are the things that determine how I'm feeling. So when people ask me that question, I'm always thinking, you don't want to know. Or you are not serious about that question. Look at this one, for example. If you look at the photograph very well, you will see a circle, a ring. That circle is a symbol of vicious circle. It's a vicious circle going around. Or rat race. Now, rat race is something that everybody knows is negative, and everybody is afraid of falling into a rat race. But the whole world is in the midst of a rat race. And the reason why they are in the midst of the rat race is because that rat race, that vicious circle, is painted in money. Is painted in US dollars. It's packaged. So the rat race is packaged in money, in dollars. So everybody putting themselves in the rat race, in the trap. He's put himself in the trap just because that trap is in dollars, painted in dollars. And that trap, that rat race, that circle, vicious circle is called job. Everybody falls into it. That's why I had to write this book. Because I didn't see anybody writing it. I never saw a book like that before in my life. Why losing your job is the best thing that could ever happen to you. Why losing your job is the best thing that could happen to you. So I'm always thinking, if nobody is doing this and God gives me the opportunity to do it, I think there is a little bit of fulfillment in that one for me. How to get what you need in life is another one here. Everybody needs something in life. But how to get it? We don't know the process. People have desires. People have the dream and the ambition. But the ABC of how. People go to school, people finish school, yet they don't become fulfilled. So why? Because you don't know how. People go to work, but they still don't get what they need in life. So who will show me the how? That's why this book was written. Then, I think the greatest book I've written this year, or this last year, is this one. Discovering the Purpose and Calling of Nations. It took me 3 years to write this book. Or is it 5? Between 5 to 3 years. It took me 3 years to write this book. Discovering the Purpose and Calling of Nations. This one is a big one because it's talking about nations. Every nation's purpose can be discovered. every nation could be actually oriented and built under certain value systems. So national greatness begins from there, from here, from knowing the calling and purpose of nations. Small question you asked me, my brother. But that's the problem with asking me questions, because I take everything serious. Now, small question has become big answer, which is equal big problem. Over to you, sir.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for even with your answer, you teach and you give an insight on how life should be lived. That things that people count as trivial, things that people would see and just disdain and call as norm and refer to as, well, this is just a normal thing in life. You have a way to magnify every little detail in life and make us see what we have not seen before, because that's the idea of a magnifying lens. A magnifying lens and gives more details to what an optical eyes would miss out. And being around you, learning from you, I'm always blown away at the details that you bring out with things that I have seen before, things that I've seen it, but I never saw what you saw. And it is because that is how most of us live. We just practically sleep through life. We just go through life and we miss out on those things that actually makes life worth living. For example, you look at the time that it took you to just give an answer to how are you. An average person doesn't see life in that manner.
Okay.
An average person wants to give a less than 2-second answer to how are you. And that's why you see answers like I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm good, and nothing much, normal. That's what comes with it.
So what's the purpose of the answer?
Well, just to give a direct,
to send you away.
Just that's it, or just to give you what you're asking for, because even the asker of the question really doesn't even know why he's asking the question, and that's the reason why whatever answer you give is moving to the next subject. So I ask you, hey, how are you doing? And you say I'm fine. I'm like, okay. So the next thing, and that's how we live. And so from you, your life is I don't know how to say it, but so much things to learn, so much things to pick up, so much things to, the whole mind shift, the whole new paradigm to what life really is. For me, I don't know, it's just mind blowing, and it makes me really realize how much I personally need to learn and imbibe into my life, because every day is like I have one thing to learn and trying to learn one thing, I'm seeing other things I need to also learn. Like some of your books here, I'm not even done with the one I'm reading right now, and I'm still trying to, even like I once told you, one of the things I do with your product is that I don't just read it because I want to learn. I read it because I want to be it. I want to read your books and not just quote your books and not just say this is what Dr. Sunday said. I want to read your books and become that thing and become exactly what you're talking about. And that is the process I'm in right now. And you're bringing in more product for me, and I'm like, Lord, which time do I have to be able to not just read your books, but to actually become it? So it's like a huge dilemma for me, because I'm like, they are just, every day is like an unraveling of new things. I'm watching you, I'm listening to your videos, even with Bible, I'm like, I'm moving with your books. I've not even started even talking about Bibles, right?
What do you mean Bible?
As in like your exposition on Bible, like talking about last HMT. Last HMT for me was like, I'm still going on actually. I'm still reviewing the whole HMT, because everything you talked about was from Genesis chapter 1, of which every Christian knows. But then your exposition just from that verse, like, well, so much work to be done.
But I don't know if you heard me ever say, because when people were accusing me that I am
That you're
just
a philosopher,
and I'm not, it's not scriptural.
You're not scriptural. Well, they do have an idea.
I've not even started.
Yeah.
The first time I attempted to do teaching on the scripture was this teaching, Bible teaching. Otherwise, I don't even go there. Even when I quote, I just quote to just to people. But that's not the emphasis. I want them to. There's emphasis to see the lesson, so I just tell them that it's in the Bible. I'm not taught from the Bible. The only time you have seen me taught from the Bible now is just this one. Yeah. If I begin to teach in the Bible, people will think they have never seen Bible before. The words will be familiar, but they will be thinking, what happened?
Well, Pastor,
that is what being in solitude consistently for 20 years does for you. You are immersed. I feel as if I am like a sponge that is immersed in soap water, not just ordinary water where it floats, but in soaped water. The weight of it.
Wow.
That is, I'm not struggling to get revelation. Because when I was younger, I used to read the Bible and look for revelation. I can read a week and I not get anything. But now I don't even need to struggle. Open anywhere and I'll be doing revelation. Before I could go and preach, I would go and pray, fast. And fast. But before now, I just need to be awake. And I just before I could feed the Holy Spirit, I need to pray. But now I just need to connect. I just need to switch, like what they call the radio
transmitter.
No, you switch from one
channel
to the other. Or you call it something as frequency.
Frequency. Okay.
I just need to go into its frequency. That's all. It's because I'm already immersed. So when people talk about God, I don't talk about God. God is here. I'm in him. I'm hidden in him. So that makes it easy for me to be able to come up with these new books and things like that. In fact, today I wanted to talk to Pearl about her birthday. So I went to some of my undisclosed revelations to talk to her some wisdom. And when I got there, in my notebook, I discovered that, my God, Oshineke, how many series will I do? I've done 30 or 40 series on YouTube now. Everybody say, nobody will ever watch it. Those kind of series that they're seeing, I see have about at least 1,000 of those series. Nobody is talking about it. So one of the greatest desire for me, therefore, is to be able to find a way, optimum way of being able to release these things to the world. For example, what I shared with Paul today, privately, not publicly, it will be enough for her for the rest of her life. Just about maybe 30 points. She's enough for her for the rest of her life. And for me, every point is a book. you people have discovered that.
Well, yes. Wow.
Is it you or Victor is always talking about?
We say, both of us, we say it.
That, that them that they will not know.
What we say is, we've worked on some of Dr. Sunday's book, and we've definitely read some of his books, and this is what we always say, that Dr. Sunday has this, and we don't know how to describe it, of just converting just one idea, it can just be a sentence. Sometimes it can be a word And from just one word or one sentence or one idea, you can get a book and you can get series out of it. The kind of product that would come out from just one idea, just one thought, from it's mind blowing. And that's also what we're talking about. For example, I remember let's take an example of one of these books. I remember this title exactly was one of your videos messages on finances, that why losing your job is the best thing that could happen to you. This is just a point. This is just a point. Viewers, this is just one point out of several points that he had on the finances and financial series. So,
and how many pages does it become?
And this book is, let me
200 pages.
Oh, I think it is over 200 actually. This is like 223 pages. 223 pages. So, well,
how many chapters?
And this it entails 19 chapters actually.
Chapters, not pages.
19 chapters. From just one sentence. Why losing your job is the best thing that could happen to you. So solitude was what helped you.
It made the man.
Well,
but most people in the world don't have time for solitude. It is too time wasting.
And the rat race, wanting to look for what to eat, to get jobs. You're working close to 10.
How can you just go and lock yourself up? You are not doing anything. I am not doing anything now. But when I come out, I'm able to do 10 or 100 times more than the ones who didn't lock themselves, who didn't shut anything down.
Well, I think, Pastor, one thing I can say for sure is that what you're doing, your books, your messages, are actually, these things are producing a whole new breed of humans.
Okay, you think so? You're already noticing that?
Well, that one I know, even from my own life. And from anyone who listens to you, anyone who reads your books. There's a whole new breed of people.
That's interesting.
Who are coming out. And that one I know for sure, because you're bringing a whole new paradigm to what life really entails in every ramification of life. Not just religious and not just as regards church, but in every area. You have a book on how to inculcate and how to build core values in children. That has nothing to do with church. That has nothing to do with politics. That really has nothing to do with religion. That has to do with family, which happens to be the bedrock and everything of the whole nation and the whole world. And how an ignorant person who just goes into marriage, has children, doesn't even know how to raise those children up. Now he reads that book, gets a whole new idea of what it means to be a parent and how to train his child. This is a whole new breed. And then what happens is that these children that he begins to raise gets to understand some of these core values of what life is about. And then that's how it keeps going. And then there's a whole new breed of people. Well, I think you're really causing a whole revolution in the world. And I'm not making an overstatement. This one I know. Because from the people who are getting enlightened through your products, through your books, through your videos, the whole mind shift is happening, the whole revolution is happening. And this is a whole new breed of people that are coming out. A whole new breed of people who have a deeper understanding of what life really entails. A deeper understanding of what it means to actually exist here on this planet. A deep understanding of who God is. You hear testimonies of people saying they never knew who God is. They never even had a relationship with God. They never even knew what their life really entails. But then just getting this your product, listening to you, there's a whole, it's like a whole light bulb is just on, and that's what you see, that's what you hear. I'm sure you read.
No, I'm thinking, I'm not sure of that, what you are talking about. I think, I'm tempted to think that you are probably talking just of yourself and your friend that you know.
No, not just myself.
I'm not sure people notice, people see me and notice what I'm doing. All these books we are talking about. I think maybe some people might have noticed it, but not, I don't think it is quite like the way you are saying. I think you are talking about yourself, really.
Well, definitely, my own story can be the bedrock of what I'm saying.
So it's not a new breed.
but by saying a new breed, I know what I'm saying, because everything that we have today it started from somewhere. I mean, even the ideologies that we have in church today that we're correcting right now, it started with one person who passed it on to a group of people, and then those group of people, just like Jesus created a new breed. He started something new.
Yeah.
And how did he start? He didn't start by just going to the whole world and then, no, he had a group of people that he passed on something. These guys caught something. And then from there, we are here today because of the impact of what Jesus did.
Okay.
So Jesus was affecting a whole generation from just those 12 disciples he was with. Yeah. Well, you have more than 12 people I know, of which I am amongst, and a lot of people who are eating from you, who are going through this revolution from you, and from us, and every other person who is actually getting this revolution from us. A whole new breed is coming out. It's going to be like a whole ripple effect. It might not happen, might not be so visible and tangible right now because of definitely wherever there is a new thing coming, there's always opposition coming to it. So right now what we're doing is we're shifting the equilibrium. And whenever there's a shift in the equilibrium, definitely it doesn't look like things are stable. It doesn't look like anything is really coming out. It doesn't really look like there's a major change because there's a shift in the equilibrium. But that's what is happening right now. There's a whole shift. Things are being ruffled. Feathers are ruffled. Foundations are being shaken. But what I'm very sure is with what you're doing, with all of this, your products, and with the people who have seen the light and who have made a decision with their lives, ready to sacrifice their lives, their blood, to make sure that this doesn't remain in these books, that through our lives, through what we do, through what we're saying, whatever platform we have, it's just like what Paul said, that those people who have not cherished their life, and they have given their life even unto death, that even if we lose every other person, we are going to make sure that we speak forth these things. And that's what I believe strongly, that you're producing a new generation of people. You're producing a new breed.
One thing that I'm just remembering now that could be confirming what you are saying. Yes, I know you, I know Victor and Success and people like that who are around me here. But one thing that also will confirm what you are talking about will probably be what I noticed recently. I was talking, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, about this book. How could you become the Abraham of your nation? Then somebody reacted to this book that I never expected that person to react to it. I was expecting the person to react to other books like this one, for example, Don't Eat Tomorrow, or something like that. Or maybe this one. So I was not even paying attention to this. I was talking to somebody else. And then the person is Mayowa. And then Mayowa said, that is the one I like. This is the because first of all, because I say fathers, because I'm talking about you could become Abraham of your nation. That's like becoming a father of a nation. You could father a nation. And she said, that's what I want. First of all, that is very helpful to me, because I don't now need to go and be convincing her or other women that this is not just about men, that this is also for women. So I was thinking I still need to do some work to make women know that this thing is not just about men, that anybody could be. But she's already doing it. And I was thinking, whatever she's doing just by default. That's what I used to think. I was thinking, she's doing the program she's doing because God just put her there because of the environment, and God just helped her. But I didn't know she's actually having faith that she herself can become Father of Nation, which means she's already intentional. And Father of Nation is not geography, it's not territory.
True.
It's breed of people you influence.
Yeah.
The breed of people you're able to lead in the different direction. So, you know, that is what confirms what we're now talking about. That, but for me again, it's easier for her because she's just near me. She's around me. So, you know, just like my children, like all of you. So I could see what you are talking about in you or in people who are right here around me. Or with Russians, I don't even need to bother about that because they are doing it, they have done it, they have run away with it, they are running with it, I don't care for, they are already, that one is done. But if you talk about these books you are writing, is breeding a new breed of people, I have a problem with that. Because first of all, I know that Africans are not reading. And even the ones that say they have read, they don't know how to read my book yet. If I'm going to begin to talk to you about how to read some Pastor Sunday's books, just like you need to listen to every word Pastor Sunday says, that's the way to read my books. You need to really study these books. But I'm not sure anybody is doing that. Maybe some people are doing it, but I'm not sure. Number two, it is a challenge for anybody to try to go and copy me or learn from me. It's almost impossible. It's possible to learn from me and copy me, but to try to say I'm writing books and they're going to read my book, to run after me is almost impossible. In fact, they will get tired and just give up. I just settle with one or two things. Or I just give up and even forgive me and forget me and let me go. Or just say, okay, this one is too much for us. But the ones that will really pay the price to go through, they will definitely become anything they want to become in life. But it's not easy to follow me. So even the books I'm writing now, many people, no matter how much desire they have, they will never be able to read them.
All of them.
All of them. So I'm not even telling people to do that again. I say, okay, maybe you should just distribute and make money. And I'm not even sure people will read it. That's why I'm not getting money from these books. I'm not making money from them because I just want to make sure that from my own part, I do my part, I give out what is in me. But the fact that it will produce the result, I hope. I know that when I get to Nigeria, it will, because I have other strategies there. But you are saying that it is already producing results. What I'm doing right now, as far as I'm concerned, is not to produce results right now. I'm just, because when I get to Nigeria, I might not have time to be able to do this thing. So I'm just releasing what is in me. But is he already producing results? I will be happy if it is. But who knows? Because I'm no more deceived by people who come to say, oh, Hosanna today, and they will say, crucify him tomorrow. But the disciples will remain.
True.
So, but, you know, I'm hearing you, but...
Yeah, yeah, I understand exactly where you're coming from. Yeah, and what I'm saying is, it's just like giving a pictorial representation of what I'm saying. Now, a mother of a child gets to be obvious to everyone when she gets to like a 6 months, 7 months,
Pregnant.
8 months pregnant. Yeah, the pregnant woman. But then we understand that the whole process doesn't start and is not. It doesn't start when you start seeing her being pregnant.
Okay.
So what you're saying and the picture you just painted is
6 months pregnant.
6 months pregnant,
Okay.
7 months, 8 months, 9 months, and even to the point of delivery.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that, sir, there is already conception. I mean, the sperm and the ovum have met and is meeting.
So, yeah, I think that is accurate. Yeah.
Yes, and we are already making progress.
I think that is accurate.
We are already making progress. So some people, there's just fertilization right now, but there's life. So some people, they're already in the first month, second month, but sir, it is happening already. And like you rightly said, when we get to Nigeria, then it becomes very obvious. The 6 month, the 7 month.
The market.
Exactly.
But, you know, for example, some people who are watching me now will be saying they are offended because what about us who are on the platform? We come every Sunday, every day, day and night. We follow DSA, we are DSA family. But, you know, I've been through so much that I'm no more flattered by those things. Because somebody who is DSA family today could become my enemy tomorrow and be doing another platform to castigate me. That's number one. Number two, a lot of those people on the DSA family who are coming, they don't even know what I've done. Okay, so for some people, for example, it would have been a shock. There was a day, I think it was 2 days ago, a certain Shola called in from Texas, from Dallas or Texas. And he's an inventor now, and he used to be a pastor in Africa, in Nigeria, in the creek of Ogoniland. So that was at the point when he met me. You know, because he was, even though he had the mind all his life, he was always smart. But when you are smart in church, they make you a pastor.
True.
It's like the kind of church people have in Nigeria now. The only way to serve that God, the kind of God they have, the only way to serve him is to become a pastor. Go and open a parish. So they send this guy to go and open parish in that creek. So that's what he did. And that was at that point I came to Nigeria and he was in the meeting. So, and then things began to happen in his life and he came to testify. So he's now an American and inventor and employing people and this. So he said some things that will make people to remember that, to know, to connect, that was 15 years ago. That 15 years ago, I was preaching the same thing I'm still preaching today. Okay, for example, he made an example that when I came to the pulpit, because when I was coming to church, they would take koboko. So they would take koboko, the police, they will escort with them. So these police people will go in some jeep in front, and I'm in the middle, and then there's some other jeep behind. And those guys will go with koboko and be chasing people away from the road so that my own cortege will pass. I mean, I was so I came to the stage. All the church was there, 5,000 people. The old people were there. I said, before I preach today, I must speak to the organizers and the pastors. This is the old pastor, everybody is saying, I don't even know that in Nigeria, they don't talk to their pastors. But I didn't care.
Yeah.
So I said, how can you, I used, you know the way I did with any detail. So I was only for 44 hours rebuking the pastors. Like, just, who am I? Just because you want me to get me to your venue and to come and preach for you. People that Jesus died for, you are beating them with koboko, and you are pushing them all the way. And these are the same people come to the same church to come and listen to me. Have you all lost your mind? You remember this station? I was telling them.
Wow.
So, and then many other things that I've said. So, but many people cannot connect with that past. Many people have not even paid the price of going to my YouTube.
To watch.
Not even the new ones. At least watch the old one. Who is this Pastor Sunday? Do research. But I've discovered that the people who are following these Africans, either they have been so damaged to the extent that few of them even pay the price of research. Because it is a normal thing to go and do research. What was this guy talking about 20 years ago, 10 years ago? And those things are there. You don't need to suffer. Those things are there in the YouTube, on my YouTube, of the old messages, church in Ukraine, how is the church in Ukraine, what is happening there, everything is there. But those things that are there from church in Ukraine, it's only 1% that were translated to English. The material that we have in Russian language in the church here is more than everything on that YouTube, like 100 times. So when you now talk to me that a new breed is coming, how will a new breed even believe me if they don't know what I've already done? Because when you see and you know for real what I've already done, and you hear the statistics alone, That's enough for you to just know that yes, this guy knows what he's doing and he can lead me to the promised land.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're just hearing me now, you will be questioning a lot. You'll be having a lot of doubts. So on that premise, I'm finding it difficult to see how that kind of person, how those kind of individuals could ever become what I'm inspiring them to become. Because they need a basis to believe. I don't know if you
I do. I get you. Well, yeah, a vast majority of your viewers fall into this category. Yeah, a vast
now you
majority.
are talking.
Yeah, a vast majority.
So you now remember when I say it is you are talking about yourself,
definitely,
and your friends.
Definitely, and I definitely agreed with what you're saying, because that definitely would form the bedrock of what I'm saying, so that it doesn't look like I'm just talking.
And I don't like it.
Yeah,
I like everything to be
exactly
established on arguments and facts.
True.
Critical thinking.
Yes.
But when you are talking about it the first time, it's like you are very sure.
Yeah, because of which you brought out, your argument is very true, in that what I'm saying is based on my experience. Yeah, and I'm speaking from my experience. So that's why I said I believe. I personally believe that this was happening. Yeah, and because as an individual and a couple of people that I have around me who have done what you just said, going to do the research. For example, me, one of the things I even did was one of the videos that even made me even get interested in you was those videos where you were going out to feed the poor and reaching out to those people in they call them the rehab centers. The down and out. Those are some of the very first videos that I even saw of you before you started your show. So definitely, there is much work to be done. Even as an individual, I've said it, but I will still stand on my point, based on my experience and based on my conviction, which is that what you're doing is producing and would continually produce a new breed of people. It is doing that with me, and as many people get to spend more time with your content, as many people spend, like you rightly said, and you always say that don't say you know me if you're not listening to at least 200 of my messages. And even those 200 of your messages, you're talking about the ones that you even started to do, when you started your live broadcast.
Yes.
And those are the ones you're talking about, not even the ones that you...
History. No.
Not even...
I didn't even want to bother them with my past.
Yeah, not even with the history. But, well, one thing I know for sure is that you are a... which word will I use to describe it?
And the reason why I don't bother them to go and see my messages or to go and look at the church or to go, I don't even tell people about myself. No. I don't even tell them about myself. I just keep quiet because they will be overwhelmed.
True.
Because even the one I have now, okay, this one is already ready, cooked. At least that one, you think people are getting, it's even far and difficult for them. Talk less of. They have not come across anything close.
True.
So yeah,
I agree, and that's the benefit that comes with not just seeing you on the screen.
Okay.
But that's one of the things and that's the reason why I was talking with that conviction, because of my own experience with you, staying with you, living with you in your house, listening to you, watching you live, with those little details of what you do. That you're not teaching, there's no camera, but those lessons that you're passing across and you're saying, and I can pick out from you. Those things make me know for sure that you are I don't know how to say, but you're really that Abraham, really. You're really that Abraham that is producing nations that would definitely change the world. Just thinking about the story of Abraham and God calling Abraham out and telling Abraham to just look at the stars. And then he should just look at the stars and see, and from just the stars, he should picture. Well, I know God has given you that stuff to be able to picture. Yeah, that one I know for sure. to just picture, and that I believe that is what is even motivating you to do whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
That God has
very
done.
right.
Yeah, God sure has done that. And well, I as an individual,
300 years picture.
300 years, yeah, because I'm sure what Abraham saw, I'm sure he saw centuries, years ahead of him, and I believe God is so amazing that of all things He told him to do, He told him to just come out, not look at the houses around, not look at the trees around, but to look into the stars, get the sand and the sands of the sea, and to just envision. I believe the experience of Abraham was beyond just looking at the stars like an average person would do that, or a normal person would just come and say, okay, oh, these are the stars. I believe there's so much in just that message. There's so much that was happening. God and Abraham telling him to look at the stars. I believe he didn't just go out and just look 2 minutes and then went back to his house. No. Just with my mind, I'm picturing something beyond just talking to him and just saying, look at the stars. I'm seeing a lot of things happening. God taking him on a journey and him seeing what could happen and seeing nations that will be birthed. And I'm sure that was exactly what was happening with Abraham. I'm sure that you've gone through that experience where God has taken you on a journey and He has shown you that this is exactly what the world will look like as a result of what you're doing. And that is enough passion, that is enough reason why you're waking up every day and doing whatever you're doing. And even with the backlash, with the rejection, and with everything that is coming, you're doing what you're doing. And that enough it's enough energy, it's enough drive for you to do what you're doing. And for we that were benefactors, I wrote something on my Facebook post one time, and some people might think, well, I said, well, thank you, God, for the gift of Sunday Adelaja to this world. Well, that is not just particular for you, because everyone is a gift to this world. But to see someone who is doing what you're doing, demands an extra appreciation to God, because.
Well, it's because you are saying it.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. For me, it's not yes.
So you are putting the people who are not saying it in a disadvantage.
Well, I just think I'm just expressing myself. Yeah, and that was one of the
reasons. In the sense that they are not able to say it, so
they should come for HMC.
What should they do?
Well, one of the ways you can get to experience this is that Pastor Sunday's house is open to everyone any time of the year. So one of the things you can do is to come and spend time here with him. It doesn't have to be HMT. For me, I won't advise you to even come when it's not HMT. Because because during HMT you are tense, you shut. As a matter of fact, there's so much work on you. The team here, they're making sure that you have to do what you have to do, because that's like just 1 week for you to get a whole lot of things. So there's so much pressure. You're going to learn. It's going to be a very wonderful atmosphere. But for us, what happens to come when there's no HMT?
We enjoy it.
Yeah, just from little things. Most times, it's not the teachings. It's just some little observation. What is pastor doing? What did he just say? How is he doing this thing? So how can you do that? You can come to Ukraine here and experience what we are experiencing here, and you can do that by writing on guest at God Embassy.
Not God's Embassy.
Yeah, God Embassy. .org. Guests at godembassy.org.
Which is GUEST, guest, like visitor.
Yeah.
Or they could go to my blog, sundaydelajablog.com/visit.
Yeah.
sundaydelajablog.com/visit.
Yes. And come and experience it. I tell you, everyone that comes here, they always say it is different. All of them, they say what we watch on the screen and what we experience here, incomparable.
And they could also get those books by writing to dssbooks@gmail.com. DSS, one word, dssbooks@gmail.com. Or they could go to my blog as well, sundaydelajablog.com/books. Or they could get them on Amazon or Okada Books, or in Nigeria through Shioma.
All right. Well, Pastor, Ask Pastor Sunday show turned out to to become a one-on-one conversation with you, and that could also
looks very interesting.
Yeah.
And lively. Maybe even more interesting
than asking the question. Yeah, it was definitely.
It's an engaging
session. Yeah.
You do have anything in mind? Or that it was going to be like
no, it's just being me and you being you, and we just expressing and just exchanging thoughts
so
together.
There's no way for us to repeat it or package it.
There's no. This is unplanned. I have my questions here. I have all my questions ready to ask you. Well,
I think people should share this particular session.
Definitely. I think it's going to be of great help, because this is genuine. This is natural. Very, very organic, unplanned for. So please go ahead and share this video and let's get more people to actually get, because this is actually going to benefit a lot of our viewers, because we said some things that might also provoke them, and some things that would even.
Then we have to rename the title then. Instead of say Ask Pastor Sunday this particular one session, we might have to call it something else, like.
But we'll have to think through that. Heart to talk, or something like that.
Heart to heart.
Maybe heart to heart talk. Or Ask Pastor Sunday. Okay, we can't change it. Well, we'll think about that, Pastor.
Yeah, it's on the basis of everybody will understand that it is on the premise of Ask Pastor Sunday, but it evolved, and this we are talking about now. That what makes what makes Pastor Sunday tick, something like that, or what makes Pastor Sunday roll, or what makes Pastor Sunday, or what makes DSA, or we, so I don't know. You think about it. I guess it's over.
Well, Pastor, before you go, I want to ask you one question before you go. And I think because it's a pressing one, and I think it's going to help. I'm so sorry, we're out of time, but I think this might help people. I'm talking about the situation on ground in Nigeria with the Benue massacre. I'm sure viewers would be interested to know what you have to say about it.
Yeah, so what I will have to say is that that's horrible. When a government is not, and a nation is not willing to pay the price of order, disorder reign, chaos reign, and destruction rule. So, but what is even more disgusting to me is not just the killing of the people, which is horrible by itself, but the response of some government officials that I've listened to. For example, I listened to the Minister of Internal Affairs, I guess, or the police. What he was saying is that it was a clash. This is a clash between farmers and herdsmen. That is the most stupid thing. That shouldn't be the response. What do you mean it's a clash? They want to make it look as if it's a fight. A fight broke out. So nobody to blame. So it is just a conflict between two people. Well, that is the most annoying part to me. Because farmers are in their land, doing their thing, living their home. But horsemen are maybe not invaders, but they are nomads.
Yeah.
Okay, nomads who go about, they come to my home, and you are saying fight broke out. If they wouldn't come here, there will no fire to break out.
True.
And why is it you are saying fight broke out when the herdsmen are not dead? We cannot see any one of them dead. We are not seeing their dead bodies. The ones that are dead are the locals, are the farmers. So that doesn't look like a clash, a conflict to me. It looks like like murder, like assassination, like murder, like homicide, like killing, like I don't want to use the word genocide, but that is horrible. So I think the government needs to take this much more serious. But I don't want also people to take advantage of the situation and turn into political issue. Some people try to turn into political by saying that, okay, it's because the people, husband, Fulani, Hausa Fulani, and then the president is Hausa. That is another stupid thing to do. That shouldn't even be connected. Because, I mean, what does that have to do with it? In 2015 and 2014, 2013, 2000, all those years of Jonathan,
Mm-hmm.
the herdsmen were killing too.
True.
In fact, they have killed more people during that time. Over 2,000 people were killed, much more than during this particular president. But we shouldn't connect that. That's silly. And it is only PDP or politicians who will try to fool the people who don't think and make them to think like that. We shouldn't make it political in the sense that we shouldn't connect it to the person of the president. It's a national issue, it's a national problem that is connected with Fulani, Hausa Fulani people who are herdsmen. And it is not just in Nigeria that they are herdsmen. They've been herdsmen before Nigeria even came up to being. So, but what we have to do is to encourage them and educate them in the new way of ranching rather than roaming. So instead of keeping to the old age tradition of looking and roaming to look for feed, we should be actually turned into agricultural, poultry, farming, livestock kind of farming, and then ranching. It should be turned into ranching, or like in East Africa, into safari. What do you call it? It's not, it's safari. Farm. What do you call it? Not farm. Is it safari? You call it?
There's safari.
Where you just have
open space.
Yeah. It's safari. It should be something like that. We should rather encourage. They call it something else. It's like not like zoo reserves. Yeah. Games reserves.
Yeah.
So things like that, and plant the thing for them, and plant feed, but that takes organization.
True. Takes the
order. Yeah. But that is the price of law and order we are not paying as a nation, but we are paying the price of human lives.
Yeah. Destruction.
Yeah. That's what I would say for now.
Well, that's so true. And I'll encourage everyone to.
Now, somebody might say, why is it that I've not spoken?
Okay.
And why have you said that I have not addressed it?
Yeah, sure.
All this, I don't want to be like ordinary Nigerian. Okay, what happens in Nigeria is that anything little that happens, they want you to just make a statement.
Yeah.
But for me, statement, I'm not a statement kind of guy.
Sure.
I'm not a reaction. I cannot just, it's too low for me to react like that. For example, this answer I give now, even though it's short,
it's deep.
But it's a different approach. But that, even I'm forced to do that. I'm forced to do it. That's not the kind of reaction I would like to give. The kind of, I always like to respond in the way that will bring a lasting way out or solution. It has to be with a momentum, and it has to be with a strategy. It has to be with a structure and with a system. Any of my answer. And it has to bring illumination as well. But the reason why I just thought to say, oh, what have you said? People are not talking. That's what Nigerians like, people just to talk. We are used to people like that, the English guy, Nigerian guy that speaks English. That was former Minister of Aviation, what they call it, Yoruba guy. He speaks English like that. It's good English. He speaks good English.
I can't recall it.
Is that Fani something? Fani?
Okay, Fani Kayode.
Yeah.
Fani Kayode.
Yeah, the Fani Kayode. Yeah.
Fani Kayode.
So, that's the kind of thing Nigerians are used to.
Yeah.
Or to the governor of Ekiti. Is it Ekiti?
Fayose.
Yeah. People will just come and talk. That is, and so when anything happens, those people begin to talk. They will begin to call on you. Why are you not talking? Speak. Make a statement. Speak. Those are cheap opportunities. That's a cheap mindset. That is a lazy mindset. It's the easiest thing to do, to talk. But I want to bring system in. I want to bring evaluation in. I want to bring insight in. I want to bring structure in. I want to bring system in. I want to put a process in place that will have perpetual momentum, that will build momentum into solution. But when I get to Nigeria, they will discover that the people are not even responding now. The way I will be responding will be much more proactive. For example, if I had been in Nigeria right now, I would have got, don't let me talk. I would have resolved the problem once and for all. That's the kind of response that I want. But because I'm still very far away, I'm forced, and I have to just give responses that are in theory, in writing books or something. But when I respond like this with a book, or I respond with a series, or I respond with a detailed answer.
Articles, like
Articles,
yeah.
because I cannot do anything otherwise. Or like doing the political campaign.
Yeah. Well, Lagadario, that is in Russian saying thank you. So thank you so much, Pastor. Thank you for a wonderful time. For me, it was not just being a host, but having like mind-to-mind interaction, rubbing minds together with you. And I feel, and I hope you, dear viewers, you're able to at least learn some things, pick up some things, and gain some insights and some ideas on what to do, how to do, and to become a great person. And well, before we go, I would like to once more just give these books that are available. The first book here is Why Losing Your Job is the Best Thing That Can Happen to You. You can get this book on Amazon, Okada Books, or you can write DSA's books to get this book. So the next one is Discovering the Purpose and Calling of Nations. You could get this book also. And then Excellence, Your Key to Elevation. Excellence, Your Key to Elevation. These are the products that could literally change your life. The next one is How to Get What You Need in Life. How to Get What You Need in Life definitely would give answers to many of your questions that you would have asked today that we are unable to answer. Then this, Don't Eat Tomorrow's Food Today. Don't Eat Tomorrow's Food Today. You can get these books on Amazon. They are out on Amazon. You could get them on Okada Books, and you can also write to DSA Books, and we'll give you the details even more. So how Africans brought civilization to Europe. How Africans brought civilization to Europe. These books will definitely be of great help. Let's try to read this book, Hello, I Am Searching for Problems. Hello, I Am Searching for Problems. And the last book I'm going to be showing today is Could You Be the Abraham of Your Generation? Could you be the Abraham of your generation? Thank you guys so much for staying with us. I'm sure you had a wonderful time. And to come your way fortnightly on Ask Pastor Sunday show, we wanted to have a wonderful and a pleasant evening, and get to talk to you soon. I am Anujo. Peace. Bye for now.